We're gonna give just a few seconds to let folks come on in.
This is a great opportunity to everybody just soak up the looks that are being served right now. We got Naomi giving us like goth realness. Adriana's like, I'm a model. Hi.
Everyone's looking stunning.
Yeah, there's some really great looks going on in here.
Yay.
Some beautiful, beautiful lighting, beautiful faces, beautiful talent. Great. Well, I think we probably have given it enough time for everyone to file on in. So I will go ahead and begin. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chloe Ray Edmondson, and I'm an assistant professor of theater history and dramaturgy here at UCF. Tonight, I'm wearing the hat of the Talkback moderator for our department's production of Luis Alfaro's Mojada. I hope you enjoyed the show. It is our second virtual reading in the series Amplify, Empower, Illuminate. 4 plays, many diverse voices. Tonight, we have a few members of the cast and creative team on our panel. Each panelist will introduce themselves and share some thoughts about the process of working on the production and what it meant to them. Following their brief remarks, we will open the discussion for questions. If you would like to submit a question, click on the Q&A button and type it in. You can see the questions posted by others, and you can upvote any questions you find interesting or exciting. You can also use the chat area to post your comments or thoughts. However, questions to the panelists should be submitted in the Q&A section. This talkback is being recorded, and the link will be posted on the theater webpage shortly. Please remember to keep all questions and comments respectful and relevant to the talkback. So I guess we will begin with some introductions. Y'all can just sort of popcorn in, do what feels natural.
All right, I'll go first. Hi, everyone. I'm Anna. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I was the director for this production. A little story about how I chose this show, because I don't think I shared this with any of you, the cast members. So I'm an alum from UCF. I got my MFA in acting there. And so when I was studying there, I noticed that there was a need to have more space for Latinx talent. There's so much good talent at UCF that I think needs to get utilized more. And so I noticed that during my time there. And the head of our department, Julia, every year she sends out sort of this invitation for us to send in suggestions of plays or musicals to do for upcoming seasons. So my first year there, I inundated that Google form with a bunch of plays about Latinx, about the Latinx experience or written by Latinx playwrights or et cetera, et cetera. And one of those plays was Mojada. She didn't choose that play, but funny story, she did end up choosing another one of my suggestions, which was Bernarda Alba, if you saw that. And that ended up being my thesis role. So I was still happy. But I was still itching to do Mojada. And so fast forward to 2020, and Julia reached out to me to be a part of this festival. And she was like, do you have an idea of what play you want to do? And I said, Mojada. I really want to do Mojada. And so here we are. So that's my little story.
I am Amanda Ortiz, and this is actually my first play ever. Like I was in a play in high school, but I didn't play anything, I don't know, like significant in that. So this was my first time like working with an incredible cast and crew, and I was extremely intimidated, but this I think was probably the best experience I could have had, just because we were all coming from the same place. We were all Hispanic, and we were all trying to say the same story. And I would just like to say, like, it was probably the best experience I could have asked for. And working with Anna, I actually worked with her during Bernarda Alba, and I was a freshman in the program. So I looked up to Anna like there was nobody else, and I thought she was amazing. And the fact that I get to work with her now on such a more intimate level and get to, like, I asked to meet with her days before our actual rehearsal started. And I worked with her one-on-one through scenes, through dialogue, through monologues, just like, okay, girl, like you gotta let me know what's going on here. But she was absolutely incredible. And I think I had an amazing experience considering that this was the first time I jumped into something like this. So yeah, I'm Amanda, and that's my experience with this.
I'm gonna start calling on y'all like a teacher if you don't just jump on it. Just jump on it. You're
Hello. Hi, my name is I played Hasong. Fun fact, my favorite line from the entire show is one of Josefina's, because Josefina is the best character in my opinion. And it's, why else do it if not to enjoy it? And I just like that. So I'm Julian. I'm excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I play Armida. I'm very different from her, as you can see. So I'm very proud to be part of this play, my first UCF play ever, with a cast filled with Latins and Hispanic people. And I'm also so thankful to be able to tell this story because I'm an immigrant. I was born and raised in Brazil. I moved here in 2018. And to tell like a story of immigration, like it has such a huge impact on the US. And also, I really had it easy compared to the characters in this play because, like Armida, I came here legally. I flew in on a plane, got here, like got a house, whatever. So to see the other side of the story of immigration, it was very interesting. It's very important, I think.
Hola, voy yo. Hello, guys. My name is Adriana. I did Tita, La Viejita, and I am a 3-year transfer from Puerto Rico. I am just proud. I am just grateful for obviously Anna, the director, and Maria, the dramaturgical. I don't know how to say that in English, sorry. But basically, like, in my opinion, I'm just like so grateful to be part of this because I consider this a movement right now, especially politically talking, like Mexican immigration and either whatever type of immigration is just something that is rooted in this country. I moved to Florida 2 years ago after Hurricane Maria, and just to have people like me all in one room or Zoom meeting at least was just amazing. So I am very grateful to be here, and I can share a little anecdote from our rehearsals. First of all, I'm so grateful of Maria that she gave us this full-on Mexican class because I didn't know anything, or at least us Puerto Ricans, we only know anything Mexican from telenovelas. And all of a sudden we're learning about gods and everything. And I just like, oh my God, I love that. And another thing is when we started rehearsal, that one prologue scene where I had to eat that mango, by the way, I love mangoes, but I just didn't love them that much. And the first time you run that scene, I totally blanked. And I forgot to spit when I was supposed to spit. And I just ate the whole entire mango and skin. So, and when Anna's asking me, where's the mango that you spit it out? Where is it? I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I just ate it. But yeah, that's me. Hi.
Hi, I'm Hilary Parde Hernandez. I play Josefina. Basically what I wanted to say is I'm so incredibly honored that this was my first show at UCF. I am a first year, and I could not be more happy with the cast and the crew. Maria and Anna were incredible people to look up to, and they helped us so much throughout this process, and they were so patient and kind with us. And although this is not the ideal standard, I'm so happy that I was a part of this. And fun fact, I almost didn't audition because I had not seen my email and I sent in my audition an hour before the deadline. And I was like, there's no way, I'm not gonna get anything. So I was so Ariana. But I'm so happy to be a part of this team, and I can't wait to see you all soon, hopefully meet you all in person, because there's so much love in this cast, and we've only been working together for about 2 weeks, literally, I think. And there's just so much love here, and I thank you all, and I love you all. So thank you.
So I'm Carlo Buxo. I'm a third year musical theater student. I am Puerto Rican, and I think going off of what Hilary said, with this whole thing being a 2-week process, something about a Hispanic community being a part of it just kind of makes everyone feel like family. So I think from the get-go in that first rehearsal, there was just kind of like that bond with each other that made this whole process like incredibly amazing. So yeah, that's my little bit.
Hi, everybody. My name is Naomi Delgado, and I read these stage directions and narrated for Mojada. You guys are too much. I can't. As a Latina, I was filled with just absolute joy to see that I got the opportunity to work with other Latinx artists and be a part of this production of Mojada. This piece, it just shines a light on so many issues that are specific to the Latinx community, immigration, cultural assimilation, like identity in general. And there's so many different things that impact us as a community within this production. And although we may be Latinx, the viewers may not be. But what I realize that is so important, not only within like my role of narrating the story, but also collaborating with all of these artists to give you this story, is we have to continue to deliver these experiences for people who are affected, the community, and people who may not be a part of the community. These stories need to continuously be distributed. They need to be heard. And I am just so absolutely proud and overjoyed that I got to work with such an amazing cast. Even though it felt like days, but we were able to create such a magical experience, both in rehearsals and seeing it afterwards. So I just thank you all so much for your time and your energy and your love to this. And thank you all who decided to stream in and watch it. It means the world to us.
I guess it's me. Hi, I'm Maria. I was a dramaturg for this play. A little bit about me. I am Mexican, 100%, like born and raised in Mexico. My whole family, just everything. And the moment Chloe asked me to dramaturg for this play, I got really excited because it's the first time, as Anna said, that we got a full-on just Hispanic play going on in UCF, and I was really, really into it. And then I met with Anna, and she told me this idea she had, that she wanted this play to be a place for healing. And honestly, I think we got there. We made it. Because the play Mojada is a story that helps us a gateway, for all of these people who are living in a reality that we sometimes only get to see on TV or movies, and we think, well, yeah, but it's something that exists, but you have no idea how close this reality is to you. And just having this place for all of us, the cast and crew, to really ground our roots and enjoy our heritage, it was just amazing. And more than that, I do want to say it was an opportunity for American viewers to understand what's happening, to understand what's going on, and most importantly in everything, to relate to this reality and to understand that we immigrants are not just like this painting that is portrayed about us. We are real people with real problems, and we stand here today. That's it.
Wow, like a good dramaturg, just wrapped that right up. Wow. I laughed, I cried. You guys are just an incredible group of artists. It's so great to be here with you. So let's get into some Q&A from our friends. We've got Lillian Santana, who has a two-part question. You knew I was going there. It has 3 votes, Catherine. Do you think playing a villain is as good as other people say? And how did you prepare for the role? Do you relate to Armida in any way? And if so, does it make it easier to or harder to play her?
Okay, so that's my mom. That's my mom, by the way. Yeah, I just called you out, Mom. First question about what? I'm so awkward. I'm so sorry. Do you think playing a villain is as good as other people say? Okay, so I'm not saying she's a villain. I'm saying those circumstances around her made her what she is. Yeah, she could have dealt with it in another way, but she didn't. So that's her choice. And I honor it, and I understand where she's coming from, and I'm gonna defend her for the rest of my life. But as the audience perceives her as a villain, I had so much fun. To me, that was so much fun. It's probably like the only character I've ever had that much fun with in my life. Every little moment I made for her was just a joy to bring to the rehearsal process and in the final product. So it's very fun. I recommend it. Any other question?
Thank you so much. No, that's great. It's great to hear from your experience of connecting with that character who could be labeled as simply evil, but you found something else there in her. So we've got a couple of questions about immensity and intensity and darkness from Sammy. So we'll go ahead and group those together because I think they're related, these two questions from Sammy. The first is, with such a charged text and story, what was it like trying to sustain the immense, intense energies of this play in our new virtual world? And then the second part of it is really for Amanda. What was it like specifically channeling such a dark energy like where Medea goes, especially now in such an isolating time and in this virtual setting?
Well, from a director standpoint, to take on that first question, I found that really leaning into the physicality of the play for me helped me help the actors connect to the play more, at least from my perspective. I never asked you, like, is the physicality helping you? But that's what it felt like. It felt like if we can't be in the same room together, like breathing together, at least we can sort of try to replicate that far apart. And so, yeah, leaning into the breathing and the physicality of the moments, I think helped.
Sort of to just piggyback off of Anna, I know when we started rehearsal, tiptoeing into the stage directions, my first instinct was to think almost like lectorally in a way, almost reading it with the over formality. And Anna was really quick to stop me and say, relax. Well, relax, obviously, but think of it in a sense of more conversational. You are in a sense telling the story. And the playwright, Luis Alfaro, does such a great job of adding such beautifully colorful stage directions into the story of Mojada. And I'm so grateful that we kept a lot of that in the script, because it describes a lot of these outer worldly experiences that Medea is specifically having, but also that the characters sort of dive into as well and are a part of. So I think that keeping some of that language that forces that energy to flow through definitely helped with elevating and de-elevating those moments in the play. And I feel like for the actors as well, you can get the sense of like the energy that they should be feeling before moments and after moments. So I think that definitely helped too.
Also, I think it was just important not to focus on the vastness of it. I think doing that, you tend to sort of just be like, how it takes you out of the present moment. So that's what was so great about sort of tying the thought to the idea of an action. You know, we couldn't really do an action, but tying our thoughts to sort of the essence of a movement was able to, it allowed us to be at least be somewhat present with each other and somewhat connect as much as we can via Zoom.
I think, to answer Sammy's question, I think Luis Alfaro did an amazing job with the stage directions, especially during the incantations and those very dark moments. Because the way I looked at it is like when you first react to something so horribly, when you react to something so emotional, and you want to like bring in every emotion you've ever felt and you want to feel strong and in the moment. I think Luis Alfaro wrote that so perfectly in the stage directions. So whenever I went into these incantations, into these very personal, intimate moments, I think it was bringing everybody into like such a real place that everybody's been at, that everybody's felt like, my God, like this person is a horrible person and I just want to get rid of them, put them out of my life and continue with my own. And I think Luis put that perfectly in writing. And I think with Anna's direction and with the cast, it just fully flowed into this natural way that you just felt the intensity of the moment, where you felt the importance of the moment, but also felt the like how organic it felt and how natural it is for everybody to be like, my God, I don't want you around anymore. I want you gone and not a part of my life. And she ultimately has the power to do that. And I think that's where it comes, like this darkness. It comes from this natural place that we all have, even without these powers and this magic around us. But everybody has this place inside of us that's like, my God, I wish they were just not a part of this at all. And I think that's where he was trying to connect with all of us, that he was trying to connect to all of us with, we've all been there. We've all been to a place where this is unfair. We are getting the short end of the stick, but like in Mojada, Medea gets to use her powers and use that against people. And I think, I don't know, I think that's where it came from.
Fabulous. Any other thoughts on that pair of questions? It's, you know, maybe one of the silver linings of the Zoom university, Zoom performance reality that we're living in is that we do get to hear these stage directions read out loud by talented people like Naomi. You know, like these things would normally be rendered invisible by the theatrical process. So I guess that's a glass half full type way of looking at it. So Lauren has a question about dialects. What was each process for the dialects in this show, which she loved and I also love?
Boy.
Adriana, you go.
I mean, and this is my personal experience, because I as a Puerto Rican have my own dialect, right? So she got to move from that. And it was, I mean, for everybody really. And Anna was very, ¿cómo se dice? She was emphasizing that a lot in rehearsal, because at the end of the day, we supposed to be Mexican. So, but it was just a learning experience as well, you know, very important. I mean, it was a process, you know, flan, everything. Pelea, everything.
Girl, don't get me started with flan. Do not get me started with flan. Oh my God.
But yeah, overall, it was good.
Process for me, I just would say that Anna right before we started like the rehearsal process, like through Zoom and tech, we had a few meetings with her beforehand, and she went and gave us like a little lesson, which I thought was incredible because I feel like it gave us a little more insight on how to bring out our own accents. Because one thing that Anna did say, she wanted us to be unique in our own sense and stick to with what fits us. So even though we are playing people that are Mexican, a lot of us aren't Mexican. A lot of us, I'm Colombian and Cuban. Adriana's from Puerto Rico. So I think she wanted us to keep our own identities, but still bring out these characters and as best as they could. So I know for me, she sent out this video of a curandera, like a woman on YouTube, and describing all these things. I would watch that video like over and over again, just pointing out the little things that I could bring out into my lines. And just a funny little segue to the point where I was looking at my lines and I was changing out the words for certain sounds. Like I would change, I think it was the V to the B. And after we finished filming, I caught myself like talking to my family going, very, very, very. And it was just the funniest thing.
I had voice one with our professor, Vivian Michkowski, and she taught us the IPA. So I went back to that. I went back to my IPA chart, started practicing the sounds alone, and then try to bring it into all the words that I had to say. But then I panicked, and then I just texted Maria in the middle of the night, Maria, how do I say this word? Maria, how do I say this word? And then I would get the words perfect, but when I brought it into the monologue, it wouldn't work. And then I was like, you need to practice the words with the context. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So Michoacan is gonna stay with me forever. That was the hardest word I've ever had to say in my life. Like the Bronislav, it came out naturally because, you know, just roll your R through your R, it's fine. But Michoacan, oh, holy moly.
And I mean, that's just the dialect. Amanda had several native tongues that she had to take under her wing. So there was a lot in this play that we had to like hammer down, and they all did wonderful, wonderful work.
It would have not been where it was if it wasn't for Anna and me meeting for like every day for a whole entire week before we even started rehearsals, because I was like, girl, I don't know how to say any of this right now. So you need to help me out. And before we get in rehearsals, I need to get it perfectly, because I was so nervous about not saying things correctly and then holding people back. So I made sure that I met with this woman, this amazing woman, before I started rehearsal, and was like, I need to know how to say every word that I don't have in my own English language, because if not, then I'm just gonna like blow up. I was so nervous.
Well, that wasn't apparent in your performance, and all of this work was just it didn't seem like you were working hard, which meant you guys were really working hard. So congratulations on doing that in such a short amount of time. It's really remarkable. So our next question is from Julia Listengarden, and she asks, the show is filled with poetry, magic, and intense emotions. What was the process of navigating all of that in a virtual world?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna jump in a bit and just say, like, the cast, you guys did amazing, especially with this, because I did talk with Chloe about this a lot, that Mexicans have this tendency of just using excess of words. Like, just, we like to decorate every single thing we say. We cannot just go straight to the point now. So I think that helps with the virtual world a little more, because you can describe and you can speak, and like it's just words, as if we had it in person. It would have been a bit more tedious to act it out while saying all these words. So from the dramaturgical part, that's what I can say, that it worked to our advantage because we needed the words.
Well, now that I have you, Maria, and we can circle back to this question because I just saw Jillian on mic and I want to hear what you have to say. But Maria, Sammy wants to know where the idea of a menu as a dramaturgy note came from, because he was delighted to see that you'd chosen to do it in that way.
Well, it started out with the flan, not gonna lie. I was like, man, I want to eat a flan so bad because they just keep on saying flan and flan in the story, and I'm like, I miss my food. And then they start saying, oh, and mole, oh, and they have like natilla and all of these desserts and foods, and I was like, man, I miss my country. I miss my food. And then I kind of took that idea back to all this Aztec native, like kind of brujeria things going on. And I told Chloe, I don't want to do just your typical dramaturgy, blah, 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 and here's the text. Now let's make this creative. And I said, ooh, what if I have the ingredients of the flan and like how to prepare it and everything? You have that same thing with writing. So you need all of those little aspects, all the factors, and then you kind of just put it together. So yeah, that was just like, I miss my food. I'm hungry. I'm someone who's always hungry. And I'm someone who loves writing. Yeah, Kat knows. Kat can tell you I'm hungry all the time. And I just love writing. I love literature, and just putting those two things I love together into one concept was just like, oh, this is an amazing idea. So that's kind of where it came from.
Awesome, thank you, Maria. And I think everyone here probably wants some flan now that you've said it like 7 times. It sounds so good. Jillian, did you want to go back and speak a little bit to the magic of the show?
I think what I was going to say was, I think this text is so much fun just because there's so much, the potential of it is vast because it is a vast story. I think even though we only got like realistically like 3 days of rehearsal, I still feel like we got to play a lot. Like we all got to sort of just, I don't know, it was almost felt like I was in a space again, and like was actually like with people working, and it was just exciting, like that this text had the sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, the threshold, I guess, to do that from a taped down spot in my living room.
And I feel like we need to talk about the fact that this is technically a reading. We had our scripts. We also, like, I felt it was like camera acting, but it wasn't camera acting. And at least for me, when I came into this, I thought Tita had to be like this and this and this. And Anna said, no, you need to calm yourself down. And I'm like, okay. But it was a process, but like, oh my God, like I learned to love it. Like it was something new. It wasn't like an everyday thing, right? And this is basically, I did a reading before with Anna. We did El Wiz, but this is like my first overall play done in 4 days. Like, oh my God, it was so good. And also like even going back to the prologue, I had to eat a mango, say the lines, like turn the script. Like it was a lot. So, but it was good. I feel like I'm appreciated that I got the experience. So that's it for me. Bye.
Thank you. So there's a couple of questions that are sort of about directing. So I'll couple them for you, Anna. How did you navigate the intimacy and the intense scenes? And how did you build a trust amongst yourselves as an ensemble? And then Sammy asks, and that question was from Issa Jones. And Sammy Pontello asked, Anna, what are your thoughts on directing over Zoom? Any advice you'd like to give to other directors forced to and frankly lucky enough to work in this medium right now?
Awesome. Thank you for those questions. They're really good. Okay, the first one, physicality. So I really leaned into like the magical realism that comes with this play, with the curandera isms and all that stuff. And so that really gave me license to have fun with the physicality and not be forced to do like literal, do the physicality out in a literal sense, but more in an abstract sense, which helped, because we're not in the same room. So I can't, Hassan can't literally like touch Medea's, face or whatever. And so I had a lot of fun figuring out like how to actually make those moments come to life. But, going back to this being kind of an on-camera medium, there's also this sense of having to make the movements that you do include be very specific and very purposeful. So back to what Adriana was saying about like having her like calm down and not do all of this, it's because when she did do something, then it had meaning and weight behind it, and it was brilliant. And so my job as a director was kind of just to find those little moments to like punch them out and drown out everything else. So like everything had a purpose. And yeah, just feeling like I could play with it. It's art, we didn't have to literally, hug each other or kiss each other or whatever. So that's the first question. The second question was what? Sorry, I have a terrible memory.
No, that's okay. Advice for directing over Zoom, and then also how long did you sit with the play, and just the process of doing that versus other medium, like the actual theater medium?
Totally. How long did I sit with the play? Not as long as I would have liked, because to be completely transparent with y'all, like it's been a rough year for everybody, and my mind is very preoccupied with everything that's going on. And so even though I was very happy to be a part of this experience, and obviously I love the play and I've talked about how much I love it, but it's been really hard for me to focus, honestly. And so I sat with the play. I chose it back in, I want to say July, and so I got August and to sit with it, and then in September we had a couple meetings as a cast and as a group together, and then we filmed then, so about a month or so. And physicality, what was the other thing? Sorry, I'm the worst. Did I touch on everything?
Getting close to our bedtime, so it's fine. This is fine. I'm here for you. So I guess the last question is, well, I guess the advice you can give for directors on Zoom, and how it compares with liveness.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think that this type of directing is not very different from normal directing. It all comes down to specificity and detail. And I think this medium really allows you to focus on that, because you're not focusing on like this giant stage picture. You're focusing on the words and the physicality that you are able to do. So just like really lean into that and really be judicious about every little choice that is made. That's my little note.
Yeah, I just hurled like 4 questions at you at once. So thank you so much for phenomenally tackling that. I think we really only have time for maybe one more question, because I know the actors have been pouring lots of energy into this rehearsal process, and they're probably excited for a good night's sleep. But we have Luz Sanchez asking, why did Tita remain silent when Medea killed her son?
I'm gonna answer that. That's one of my favorite scenes. It goes with kind of the direction of what we lose without live theater. I'm actually inside the house. My body's inside the house, and the scene between Tita and Medea takes place outside. Tita just comes in from the whole thing with Armida, so my body's inside. She doesn't know about me, but yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah, Medea sends out Tita to, sorry, I didn't mean to answer the question for you. Medea sends out Tita to give Armida the dress of the snakeskin, and then that's when she takes the opportunity to go for her son.
Wow. I mean, it's it's amazing that we could have so much fun here tonight talking about a play that is about so much trauma, intergenerational trauma, trauma of being an American today, trauma of being an immigrant, and the fact that we can sort of find beauty and joy in it is really beautiful, because the Greeks, were no strangers to staging trauma as well. And frankly, I feel like we're all living through quite a global trauma of the COVID crisis right now. And this experience talking with y'all and seeing this play really gives me hope that there is beauty in this time and these hardships. So thank you so much for sharing your craft with us tonight. And yeah, that's it for our Talkback. Please join us for the upcoming shows and talkbacks for those as well. Our next show is How to Catch Creation by Christina Anderson, and that one is directed by Johann Robert Wood. It's going to premiere next Saturday, October 17th at 7 p.m., and it will also be followed by a live talkback with the creative team. I hope to see you all there. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much.